Hi. Sorry, moving around a lot. How is everyone today? Is everyone having fun? We'll wait and see for people to get here. It's nice to see everyone today. Well, virtually, of course. So, I can see you guys are coming on in. Feel free to say hello in the chat box, which is right over here. You can also, hey Sky. I'm glad you guys are here. It's super exciting. It's the first day. I like YouTube. I think it works well. The chat box is going to be your best friend. It's mine too, because I like seeing guys in there. I always... So Sergey asked if I can see you. I can only see you if you type something in the box. Today's been, coming along. Oh my gosh, I enjoyed the elbow cough. That one got me. So Bri asked, do we need to use our school YouTube or is personal okay? You can use anything you like. If your username, let me rephrase. My one preference with your YouTube account is that it is a word that I'm okay saying on the video. But if your name is your name, that's great. If it would be anything else, that would be great. I am pretty simple on that. So if you have multiple YouTube accounts, either one is fine. Let's see. Well, lots of questions. It's my favorite. I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to work my way down. So if you have a quick question, you can go ahead and drop it in the box. In a little while, we have some slides to talk about how this is all going to work. Usually, so today, this is my office at UNF. See textbooks. I will be in a different room with a whiteboard behind me so I can answer all kinds of questions. Let's see. I gotta be honest. Someone asked how my day was. I've been a little nervous. It's the first day of school. I always get nervous, so that's nothing new. I asked Bry's question, or I answered about any account, as long as your name. So if you drop a comment in the chat over here and your name is Senor Loves Potatoes, it's just like a random thing, I will say Senor Loves Potatoes said blah, blah, blah. If it is, so Bry's name is in here, I see someone named Madison or Michael, I will try to refer to you by name, regardless of what your name is in that case. So whatever account you want to use is great. If you have an account with a name, it makes it easier for me to say that. It looks like you guys are making a group me. That's great. Anissa, I'd also like to apologize. I will work very hard to learn how to say your names. However, I'm also guessing most of the time. So is this how you keep track of attendance? I'm not going to take attendance. So attendance is only mandatory on days where we have quizzes. Nope, we don't have any of those. Mini exams and exams. On those, you will turn those in, and that will be how we take attendance. Otherwise, I will not be taking attendance based on the chat box or anything else. So if you miss class, this will be live, but put into the, this will be live or stored on YouTube. Okay. All right. You guys are adding each other into a chat. That's really excellent. I love study groups. We have Snapchat. I think I saw an Instagram chat. If you're watching this later, everything will be over there. I did investigate. It's very hard to delete a chat box. So if you put something in there, figure it out. So Christopher asked, are all the lectures recorded and put on your channel? They are. So all of our live sessions will be stored on a playlist that has not been made yet because it's our first one. All of the other lecture videos are already posted, and today you can learn everything. So I want it to be accessible for you. This means that if you watch it live and you want to watch it later, you totally can. So everything will be both here, live, and in person, as well as stored on the YouTube channel. Marlo asked, does this class require Honor Lock? It does not, but we will be using Respondus. So it is the other version. So there's Honor Lock with the camera, and we're going to use Respondus, which is a browser lockdown, and no camera, because I think that's creepy, and I would get nervous to take my test with someone like watching me. So if you own a Microsoft Surface, Honor Lock, no, we don't use that one. Respondus doesn't work. Now, that was true 4 weeks ago, and they may have updated it. I will look into that as we get there. Christopher asked about exams. I will answer that in a little bit. When we talk about all the things, I will answer as many questions about the exams and mini exams. Snapchats. Oh, thanks for letting me know about your name. Sky, they're right. You have a lot of work to do to get all of these added. Also, if you have asked a question that I didn't say I would get back to, like Christopher's question about the quizzes and exams, please don't feel bad about asking it again. I'm getting a little lost in these Snapchats. Maximus is offering for a study buddy. He says that you guys can struggle together. We have solutions for how to keep you off of the struggle bus. I got a plan for y'all. Christopher asked about the browser lockdown. How do you get that? I will send you a link as we get closer to the first exam. It's really easy. You just download it, click the button, and go to town. Jenna says that she has a Surface. So what do we do? Can you send me an email, Jenna, and we will make a plan together. So if you have a Microsoft Surface, let me know. We will make a plan together. So Jenna G, send me an email. Sean says he will not be taking the struggle bus. He'll be walking. And I laughed about that. In this course, there's going to be roughly about 100 of you. So in the chat box, you'll start to notice people. Sometimes we get people who just kind of hang out and learn chemistry with us together. Otherwise, it's just us. Okay. I'm glad you guys have set up your servers. So please keep in mind that helping each other is a great plan, but not always. Okay, so let's talk about Gen Chem 1 because I think it's important to answer all your questions and everything else. Ooh, I'm going to come back to the chat box. I'm glad you guys like the YouTube format. Me too. Okay. So this is Gen Chem 1. I'm Dr. Malcolm. I will be guiding you along our journey to really enjoy Gen Chem 1. Okay. So Zura Lost asked, the exams will not be recording you. They will not. We are going to use Respondus, which is a browser lockdown. I will say that if I find out that there is rampant cheating, we might switch to honor lock just because. So let's figure it out. Let's talk about this semester. So I'm Dr. Malcolm. I love Gen Chem 1, and that makes me feel like a huge nerd, but that's great. So, okay, that's not going to work. Well, that. Let me fix this to where it will. So what do you need to know about me? Because I think it's really important for you guys to understand that faculty are both real people and exciting people. So I love a good meme. If it is science related or about the Bachelor, I'm here for that. I have friends, obviously we all send them to each other these days. So a couple other things. I love trashy TV. I'm a big fan of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and really everything in that family. So I'm all about it. So what else do I do? I am from Texas. You will often see this cup. It says Texas A&M all over it. Big fan. So that's, hold on, let me make that bigger so I can see your comments. So what else do you need to know? Over here, I love to run. So in non-COVID world, you used to be able to see me running through campus. During COVID world, I tend to take my runs either on campus on the weekends or closer to where I live. But I love to run. I run pretty often. So other things. This is my dog. Her name is Lily. She is super cool. So other things you need to know about Lo. These are out of order again, but we'll come back. So that's Lily. She is my dog, and I will probably talk about her as often as possible. So she is a lab mix and is about 13. So how did I become your professor? I went to Texas A&M for my undergraduate degree. I have a bachelor's of science in chemistry. And so I have taken all of the chemistry courses that you could possibly take. I got my PhD in biochemistry and chemistry at Washington University in St. Louis. So I got I studied how bacteria sense their environment. And so it's super neat. I think about it all the time. So I did my postdoc, which is an academic residency at UT Southwestern Medical Center in the Department of Physiology. So I often use lots of different things. So I've been in school for a really long time. I really enjoy being a professor. And so other questions? Making sure that you guys are group chats, good chats. Diana, maybe, would like to know if we should start memorizing the periodic table. Not yet. There are parts of the periodic table you are definitely going to want to learn, but you will be able to have a periodic table on the test. So I'm not going to make you memorize that. Checking to see if there's any others. Sergey asked, when you run, do you need to wear a mask? If you are on campus while running, you do not. It is my understanding that as soon as you're in a building, not in your dorm room or anywhere else, you should be wearing a mask. So I'm in my office, the door is closed, so I'm unmasked. But if I leave my office, I wear a mask. If I run outside, I wear a mask until I get to the sidewalk, and then I take it off and I put it in my pocket and I run, and then I finish and put it back on. Thank you for saying that my dog is precious. I think so too. Discords. We only have one textbook, and I'll talk about whether or not you should buy it in a second. So this is where I went to college and then got my PhD and then got here. So I have been in chemistry since I went to college in 2002. And so I happen to really like it. So Aggie football is my favorite. So when we look at all of these, I have been to several A&M games, although none this year due to the pandemic. Everyone wants to see more pictures of the dog, so here she is. She is so cute. So Lily is 13, and you guys are going to do great. She has big faith in you. Over the last 9 months, she's gone almost completely deaf. So it's really cute. So if you have a deaf dog and have hot tips for that, please let me know. But she's about 35 pounds, not too big, not too small. She is just precious. So that's exciting. So what is Gen Chem 1? So Gen Chem 1 was probably one of my favorite classes in college. Now, many of you are in here because you have to take Gen Chem 1. So I think that Gen Chem 1 can be a gateway into exciting chemistry things. I also think that it's possible that you guys may end up saying, you know what, chemistry isn't for me. And that's okay. I think it's okay to say, I don't really like chemistry. I get it. It may or may not be for everyone. But in this case, what you want to think about is, how do we learn what we need to learn in this class? And so my role in this is to teach you guys how to solve these problems. Some of you, I hope to convince to become chemists. Some of you will walk away and be like, whew, that was a lot, too much. So these are all of the different things. All of that's okay. So let's think about this. So we are going to think about, how does a molecule, how's it put together, and how do they interact in chemical reactions? So some of you have asked, what's happening this semester? It's a great question. So let me tell you things. So the way this is going to work is on Wednesdays, like today, we will meet on YouTube Live, just like this. Well, not just like this, kind of like this. On Mondays, we don't have class. So, but I will have office hours or help sessions or anything else. So on Mondays, what we're going to do is you're going to watch the videos that I've made. So those videos are lectures. They're not all that long. Some of them are longer than others. In that case, what you're going to end up having is there are slides online in this space. And so once that information is there, what you're going to be able to do is you guys are asking a lot of questions. Okay. On Mondays, you will watch videos or come to office hours. On Wednesday, we will have a live session where we will work problems together as a group. Most weeks you'll have between 3 and 4. It says up to 8. There's really never 8, but just in case. So there is a list of videos, and you'll watch some of them every week. On Fridays, I'm going to send you an announcement on Canvas. So if you can, go in there and turn on the alerts just for my announcements, okay? That information is going to help you. So when you watch the videos, you should take notes on the slides that are online in our Canvas course. They are not there yet, but they will be there this evening, okay? So in that case, you can have both of those things. You're going to take notes on those videos, and then on Wednesday, you're going to come to our live session where we can solve problems together. In these live sessions, they're 4:30 to 5:45 right here on YouTube. You can download the example problems and do them early to kind of give yourself a practice. If you have questions like, I don't understand how you did that, or could you do another example, you can drop those in the chat box, which will be right over here, and I'll answer those. So in this case, what you'll see is a whiteboard and everything else. So Alyssa asks, No YouTube live on Mondays, just watching the videos. That is correct. So we are only meeting live on Wednesdays, except for the occasional Monday, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. So you guys have GroupMe's and Discords all set up. Perfect. So on Monday, you'll watch the videos. Now, you could start today and watch the videos for this week and for next week if you wanted today. We're getting to Alex. Alex is coming. Don't worry. I'm not trying to like drag it out and not tell you things. I know it feels that way, but that's not what's happening. So on Canvas, you can find this schedule. This schedule, we're going to basically think about it like weeks. So this week, our live session is today. We're going to talk about the syllabus. That's what we're doing. There is no graded assignment. There are 2 videos. There are 1.5 and 1.6, which you can find on my YouTube channel. There are lots of ways you can do that. You can find them in the Chapter 1 playlist. There is a document on the FAQ section where this is. The next one has hyperlinks to each video. So this schedule is available for you. You can download it. I am going to try, it's on my list, to make something that you can set something up. Matthew, I see your question on help share the Discord server. Yes. If you would like, you can you email me a link and I will include it in my announcement this week? Oh, okay. So Avery also answers this question. So here, I will copy this link. I will copy it later and include that. So Avery says you can switch the chat from top chat to live chat, and that will actually give you can watch it past. You can watch the chat like as a live ticker. Hope asks when is the first homework due, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. So let's talk about what you need. You need a calculator. I would prefer that you use a scientific calculator. If we are in person, you're required to have one. You are more than welcome to continue to use your graphing calculator because I can't stop you. You need to have ALEKS, which is our homework system. I'm going to talk more about that in a second. I would like you to have access to a textbook. Now, the homework is separate than the textbook. So the textbook, you can go to, what am I trying to think? For the textbook, you can go to Amazon and buy any old version for like 10 bucks. Feel free to do that. You can rent one from Amazon. You could rent it from the bookstore. You can buy a brand new copy if you would like, but you are not required to. There is also, if you are in a budget, if you are like, you know what, I don't want to spend money, there is a link to a free textbook. It's almost the same material, just a little bit different. The things that are different are the pictures are not as good, and the end of chapter questions are different. But there is a free textbook link that I will include in my Friday announcement that you can basically click on. All of the sections are the same. Everything is the exact same as it is in the Brown and LeMay textbook that I don't have a copy of right here because it's at my house. Okay, so that's what you need. Yes, it is a non-graphing calculator. So let's talk about ALEKS. ALEKS is the homework system we're going to use. Some of you are going to think that ALEKS is great. That is the exact same thing. You bought the right thing. You have the right thing. If you paid $67 for ALEKS, you are money. Jenna says, feel free to just steal a calculator from someone else in your life. It works. So Alex is the homework system we're going to use. Alex is great and terrible for one reason and one reason only. It's going to force you to learn, which is great because I like that you learn. It's terrible because it might make you do the questions more than once. So how do you get there? So if you go to the modules page, it will look slightly different than this. A few things will look a little different, but overall it's the same. Click modules, go to Alex Chemistry. You want to click this there, the thing in a red circle. You should see that. Then you should see something that says you need to load this in a new window. Click that button. Agree to terms. So a number of you emailed me that you got to step 5 and it didn't work. It turns out that I forgot to click a button in the process. It should now work. So then you could click this white Alex button. So I did that. It is now fixed. You should be able to register. If you have an account, which very few of you do, and know the password, you can click yes and put all that information in. If you don't, you need to register your account. So while you will access this through Canvas, it will not connect it on the Alex end. So please use your entire last name. And to some extent, enough of your first name for me to find you. So if you go by JP, like J is your first name, P is your last name, I'm going to have to hope I get that right. So please use your whole first name. You're not required to, if your given, not your given name, if whatever Canvas calls you is not what you prefer to be called, feel free to input whatever you prefer to be called. It will call you by name every time. So if you prefer to go by your middle name, I will figure that out in that way. So once you make an account, you'll need to add the access code. Then you should see the homework for this course. So, Caleb asked, can we use your school or personal email? Whichever one you actually check, use that one. Like, it's not important that it's tied to your UNF email. You can use your personal email account if you'd like. So the access codes, a couple of things. Sky asked, do you need the 18 weeks for Alex? You definitely do. So you can buy an 18-week access that'll give you for the whole semester. The access codes. A couple of things about the access codes. You can buy this from the bookstore for, I think somebody said it was like $67. You can also set it up using the link that was, it's on the homepage today, using a way to connect it to your e-Follett, and that will work. So you can do that. That will also help. There is a way, if you set that up and you are waiting on financial aid, send me an email. I have a 2-week code that you guys can use. If you are like, look, I can't be bothered to go to the bookstore. I don't want to go through e-Follett. I don't care about anything else. How can you do this without having to go anywhere? It will ask for your credit card number, and you don't need to buy a code. You can just enter your credit card number and follow the directions the same way as if you were like buying something on Amazon and your credit card wasn't saved. So you can pay for it in these ways. It should be approximately somewhere around $60 to $65. So that's how much that is. Okay. So Alexa asks, what is the textbook called specifically? I think I will have a picture of the textbook here in just a second. So I will show you that in a second. Alyssa says she's waiting on our access code from the bookstore. If you send me an email, if you are waiting on your code, I have a 2-week access code for anything else. Alexa says she's opted in today. I believe so. I think that's the same. You should still be able to get into that. Ooh, Jenna knows the answer. I love it when you guys answer each other's question. So Daniel asked, can you repeat how to get into ALEKS? Is it from Canvas? So we'll just go right back through it. You can follow these directions in the slides. In the ALEKS module, there's a like how to sign into ALEKS. You can click that PDF, which will walk you through this. So in the ALEKS module, click this link that says ALEKS Chemistry. Click the load in a new button, agree to the terms. Click the ALEKS button that is circled in red in number 5. From there, so if you tried to do it before, we'll say 1 p.m. today, you would have gotten to page 5 and it would have kind of like had a heart attack. I missed part of the setup. It is now linked together. It should all work. Then you can register your account over here. It will ask you either for money or a code that you can buy somewhere else. All right. So the opt-in. Caleb asked, the opt-in is what we need to do for like $70. Yes, it should be about $70. And eventually you should get to a like welcome to ALEKS screen. So Alexa asked, do we need to get both ALEKS and the textbook or just ALEKS? You are only required to purchase ALEKS. That's it. I recommend that you have the textbook, but you don't have to have it. Matthew, this slideshow will be available. It will be up this evening when I get home. Anissa had to pay for, that's not how you say that. Anissa, you had to pay for both. You bought the textbook and ALEKS. If you've paid for something that you didn't want to pay for and you bought it from the bookstore, you can return it. If you need my assistance, send me an email. My email is when you sign into Canvas, it's on the homepage. You can just copy it from there. Okay. So I recommend that you have one of these calculators. You will need the ability to do scientific notation, which is super important in this class. So whatever calculator you use, make sure you know that. This is the textbook. So this is the current version. Make sure nothing falls down on me. This is the old version that you can find online for super cheap. They're approximately the same. Here's when I recommend you buying the textbook. Buy the textbook if you're a chemistry major. Buy the textbook if it's been a really long time since you took chemistry. Buy the textbook if you like textbooks. Overwhelmingly, I find that my students buy the textbook or rent the textbook and then don't really use it. You are not required to have the textbook. No assignments will come out of the textbook. Everything else should be the same. So a couple of you have asked about the TI-84. So it is my preference that you use a scientific calculator, non-graphing. You are at home, and so I can't make you do that. So you can use the TI-84. If you are also taking any other chemistry classes, you will need to eventually have a scientific calculator. So you can use any calculator you like, as long as it will allow you to do exponents. Dammy asks, the textbook isn't required, but ALEKS is. That is correct. You have to have ALEKS. As some of you have mentioned, the first assignment is due on Monday night in 5 days. Okay. If you bought the opt-in thing and ALEKS, if you've paid for $60-something twice, you've bought the same thing twice. If you paid for $60-something once, I don't know what's happened. Send me an email and we'll figure that out. Christopher asks, can you send me an email for a temporary code? You sure can. If you send me an email, many of you I've said to email me. It will take me a little while to get through it, but just send an email. And then you can send it either through Canvas or to my email account. I will get them either way. You just don't need to send it twice. Okay. You guys are doing good. Uh-oh. Olivia asks, you're providing us with an online free book or pages from one? I will provide you with a link to the to a open access textbook. So it is not illegal. I'm not giving you something weird and creepy. It is an open resource put together by another university. Hold that question about what is the first assignment and what do you need to do. Actually, we're just going to skip ahead. We're going to get there in just a minute, okay? So you have to have ALEKS. You know how to sign up for it. I'll tell you in a minute what it is. What is this class? There are 1,200 possible points. There are exams, mini exams, the homework system, which has 2 parts, and the final exam. So let's talk about all of those different things. So before we do that, letter grades. These are the possible letter grades that you can earn in this class. You can get an A. So in this, there are no minus grades. So it's either a flat letter A, B, C, D, or F, or a C plus, B plus. There is no A plus. These are the course points that correspond to that. Roughly an 85% and above is an A. A 70 to an 84.9 is somewhere in the B category. These letter grades will show up in Canvas as we move forward. So today, I think it gives you a U because there's nothing that's been graded or turned in. Once things begin to be turned in, your letter grade will show on the grades page. And I'll show you how to navigate that in a later video this semester. Important dates. So here, they're in order. And don't forget, these slides are coming. This information will be on the Canvas homepage. It will not be a mystery. But for every exam we have, there's a mini exam before. So it's a little bit before. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about those coming forward. But these are those dates. So our exams, mini exams, and our final, all 3 of those will be given on Canvas. All 3 of those types. They will all be available and only available during our course time. So while all the video components are available outside of class time, because that's how life works, on those dates on the previous slide, which these will be posted, you need to be available. So the exams will only be available on those Wednesdays from 4:30 to 5:45, or on the Mondays during our class time from 4:30 to 5:45. And the final is true as well. So you must be available during that time. So this course has a time code with it, and so you should be available during that time. It's a 200-point exam. You'll have 75 minutes. It's not cumulative, but chemistry kind of builds on itself, so I won't ask you the same thing multiple different times. But you might have to use information from exam 1 to get to exam 2. We do have SI. I will give you more information about her as we go forward. She's very good. I'm very excited for y'all. More information on the exams is coming. So previously someone had asked, is it open? I don't remember the question, and if I scroll back, it'll take me 3 days to get there. But the question just was, is it open book or open notes? So our exams will be open notes, or at least the first one will be. If I find that people are using resources that are unallowed, everything can change. So, but they are not necessarily a hard, they are short answers, calculations, matching, etc. Christopher has asked, how would a short answer question work? And I'll answer that in just a second. So your mini exams are 50 points. So it's basically a quarter of an exam. You'll have 22 minutes. Same types of questions. They will also be on Canvas. And for the mini exams, it's the best 2 out of 3. So there are 3 of them. The top 2 scores count towards your final grade. Your final exam is cumulative, non-optional. It is more heavily weighted. It is also longer than the exam. All of these will have the same format. So what is that format? So our exams will be administered via Canvas. You will answer your questions in Canvas. So in Canvas, it'll be like a quiz like you've taken in any of your other classes. It'll ask a question like, what is the molecular weight of sodium chloride? And then there'll be a box, and you'll put your answer in the box. But you'll also be required to upload your, what word am I looking for? Your handwritten work. So for all of these, it will be two things, the in Canvas part and the handwritten part. Your handwritten work is how you can earn partial credit. Here's the thing about chemistry. A lot of times it gets a really bad rap for being really hard. The reason people think it's hard is because there's all these tiny mistakes that you can make. I think you should earn as much partial credit as possible. In real people school, like when we have class in person again, you'll get a paper exam and I'll grade on that and give you extra partial credit. So you will be required to upload your work, which means that you have to have work. No work, no partial credit. If you get the answer wrong, I can't give you any extra points or any other partial points. Sky asked, are the mini exams a new thing? They are a new thing. They are different. If you had a friend who took my class last semester, I did something called weekly assignments. We're going to try these mini exams this time. So Haynes says, trying to buy the access code and it's saying both my school and regular emails are invalid. Can you send me an email and we will figure that out together? Because it shouldn't tell you that they're invalid, but we will figure it out. So to upload your work, there are apps. You can do it in CamScanner. It has to be a PDF, so you won't be able to upload images, and it has to come as one file. But I will send you, a video of how this works. I'm going to send you all kinds of cool stuff in our weekly announcement. So don't panic. If you've already used CamScanner, it's great. It's for free, and I'm a big proponent of free stuff. Caleb asks, what do we have to do if you've signed in for Alex? Well, we're going to talk about that next. So if you miss an exam, people get sick, your internet might die, there are lots of things. I'm going to try to use as much compassionate flexibility as possible. So if you can't take the exam because you're sick, you are caring for someone who is ill or something else, please contact me. There aren't any makeup exams. So I know in other places at other institutions, like in high school, you could have the opportunity to take an exam more than once. There are none of those here. It's not necessarily a one-stop, but once you take the exam, there's no do-overs. You don't get to take a makeup. You don't get to try again. It's one exam. If you can't take it on Wednesday for many reasons, please send me an email and we can try to get you a late exam time or something else. If you don't tell me until the end of the semester, I have less ability to assist you. As I feel like I say a lot today, like just send me an email. If you send me an email, I will try to work with you to figure it out. So that's the same if you get really sick and you can't take the mini exams, just send me an email. We'll figure it out. Okay. So let's talk about the homework system. ALEKS is a learning system. It is going to, so if you've started, it gave you your initial knowledge check. And it's going to be quite honest, it's going to ask you questions, harder and harder questions. So is that annoying? Sure. If you don't know how to do it, you can hit I don't know. It will say, are you sure? And you can click it again. Clicking I don't know isn't bad. The initial knowledge check is asking one question and one question only. What do you already know? So if you already know Avogadro and his how to calculate from grams to atoms. And so in that case, if you don't know how to travel from grams to atoms, then I am gonna teach you everything it's asking by the end of the semester, okay? However, in the beginning, it's just asking if you know. So you'll get credit if you do. You will not be penalized if you don't. Some homework systems ask you a question, and you either get it right or wrong. ALEKS will give you multiple opportunities to do that. So in ALEKS, there's a status bar at the top, and you have to answer either 3 or 5 questions in a row. When you answer one right, you get a bar. When you answer the second one right, then it counts as double. So now you're up to 3. If you answer the next one right, it goes all the way across and you're done. Let's say on the last one you got it wrong. Well, it's going to take away some of your points. So you have to get 3 right in a row in order to do that objective. ALEKS is going to help you learn. If you've used other homework systems, sometimes they'll tell me how to do it, doesn't tell you anything. ALEKS is going to tell you stuff. Your best bet is to not do your ALEKS until you've watched the videos that I make for you guys and come to the live session on Wednesdays. ALEKS sometimes teaches you to do stuff in really obscure ways. It'll make you do 9 calculations and I'll show you 2 that's all done. So that's how ALEKS works. Caleb asked, does the opt-in give the access code to be able to use ALEKS? Caleb, you're going to have to send me an email with some screenshots because I don't know what you're opting out of. So if you could send me an email with a screenshot of exactly what you're seeing, I'll take a look at it. But I agree with Anasha that the opt-in should give you an access code for ALEKS. I think you either opt in or you opt out and pay with your credit card. You should only have to pay once. I will resend the opt-in link in a little bit. Dean asked, there are several UNF athletes who may miss tests to travel. The athletes in question, if that could be you, should, as per usual, send me an email and we will set something up. So if you travel for a UNF reason, that's very different than I just didn't go to school on Wednesday. Sky says, if you go to your email, search opt-in, and an email will come up with info. So how do you earn credit for your homework? It has 2 parts, the pie and your turning it in. So objectives are due on Monday at 11:59 p.m. If you get it wrong, it will just take you a little bit longer. So on Monday afternoon from 4:30 to 6:30, so in our usual class time, I'm going to have ALEKS help session. You can come then and bring your objectives. So you're I don't know what to do. And we will work problems together to try to figure that out. So you could also come if you have questions from lecture or anything else. In that time period, you can get assistance. And they're set aside for ALEKS type questions. So your score, half of it comes from completing your pie. At the end of the semester, you will see this graphic where it says, nice job, and then it'll say your name. Here are your results. You have finished your pie. So the pie completion is a direct point comparison for the amount of topics that you learn. If you learn them all, you will earn 100 out of 100. It should take you all semester to finish your PIE. Now, technically, you could finish your PIE in 2 weeks. It would be a lot of work and you would hate your life and hate this class, but you could do it. I just don't recommend it. So every week, different parts of the PIE will be due. So I find if you tell me it's not due till the end of the semester, I will wait until the end of the semester to do it. So to turn your objectives in on time is worth points. Every week, it's worth 10 points. So there are 12 weeks where you turn stuff in. The lowest 2 scores will drop. So if on a given week there are 9 objectives and you finish 7, you will earn 7.8 points out of 10. So what is this trying to tell you? Every week they're due for every week a little bit is due. Those ALEKS objectives are over what we learned the previous week. So in that case, all of the ALEKS objectives are going to build up to getting your PIE. Together, it will all work in that case. So now I'm going to look in the chat and answer questions. Diana asks, is ALEKS timed? No. ALEKS will give you all the time in the world. So some of you may have more or less objectives than other people. So the knowledge check will basically give you credit for everything you need to know or everything you already know. And so it's untimed. You have as much time as you want. You could start today and work a little bit every day. Dammy asks, a delivery email. Christopher, objectives are the homeworks you get on ALEKS. Yes. So your homework in ALEKS are the objectives. Every week, it basically says, like, do these, usually it's like 9 to 10 objectives, and then those will be turned in. But let's say you missed week 2. ALEKS will kind of lock you out, but it might make you learn it later. So at the end of the semester, you'll have time to have seen all of that. Amber, every Monday, I will have ALEKS help session, unless I'm giving a live review session, which is the same thing, but yes. The due dates are in Canvas, but they're not connected. So Alexa asks, the due dates are in Canvas, but you'll have to go into ALEKS to actually submit the assignment. I can't figure out how to link those together in that way. ALEKS is connected. You never have to turn anything in. I will look at ALEKS and download your scores and upload them into Canvas for you. A late penalty, kind of. So the late penalty for objectives is that you will not earn the on-time points. So in this, the objective submission. So if you don't do it, you won't get credit for that week. But at the end of the semester, you can still complete your entire PIE, if that makes sense. So in this case, every week you'll earn points towards getting them turned in. In the past, you'll then have they're scored separately. Your first objectives are due on this upcoming Monday, but it's a prerequisite knowledge. Basically, do you know all the things that you need to know in order to be the most successful? A lot of it will be math review. If you take the knowledge check seriously and click through and do as many as you can, more than likely you shouldn't have very many objectives to do this week. And ALEKS will basically throw you like a little party anytime you finish all your objectives for the week. So if it didn't throw you a party, you have not finished. It'll like toss confetti in the air. It's kind of a little overkill, but it works. The prerequisite check is not the same thing. So the prerequisite knowledge is the grouping that it cares about. The knowledge check is basically ALEKS's way of asking, did you learn anything? So Amber asks, homework and objectives are different things? They're the exact same thing. So all of your objectives that you turn in are the homework. I know this is confusing, but as we get through this semester, it will make more sense. So what do you need to have? You can use your textbook to study. I will always post my slides, these included, as well as any of the slides that I write on in the videos or on Canvas. You can come to my office hours. We have an SI. She should be sending you an email later this week with the survey on how to sign up. And she will usually be here and will answer some of your questions in the chat. And we have a YouTube channel. So on mine, you can find the videos. There's also lots of old example problems if you need those. So office hours. Office hours are going to be run through Zoom. On the homepage, it'll say like office hours, and then it'll have a little blue word called Zoom. Click that if you want to come to office hours. You can come to that meeting on Monday, 4:30 to 6:30, which is a little longer than class. So maybe, I don't know, it just runs longer. You don't have to stay the whole time. On Tuesday or Wednesday from 10:30 to 12. So you can come to any of those times. You can come to none of those times. You can come as often or as not often as you like. I will be there. If I'm at home, the dog will be there. She sleeps a lot these days, so sometimes she's around, sometimes she's not. But if none of these times work for you and you need to meet with me, please send me an email. You can send an email that says, I would like to meet with you, and we'll figure it out. If you want to meet during these times, you just have to come. It's just a time when I'm not busy for you to come and hang out's a strong word, but for you to come and ask questions. So how do you be successful in this class? Gen Chem 1 gets a bad rap for being really hard. So it is a hard class, but I think if you spend time preparing, watching the videos, not on double speed, just on single speed, maybe twice, maybe the first time on double speed, the second time on single, or both, but you should spend more time other than just watching my videos. You're going to need to do a little bit more work. I recommend solving problems, going to Alex, coming to my office hours, anything else. So Amber asks, will you have exam reviews? On the Monday before an exam, I will hold a YouTube Live during my office hours for an exam review. It will also be saved online. So if you can't come that day and you're like, it'll be available for you. I will also post the questions. So that is the exam reviews. They are there. They'll be on YouTube Live, just like everything else. So a couple of helpful hints. You need to take notes. Even if the exams are open notes, you still need to have notes. When you see my slides, you'll notice that some of them don't have any words on them. That means that you should write something there. You want to be able to solve problems by hand. I will grade for some of these only your handwritten work. So you need to have the ability to do that. You should stay current with both the YouTube videos, the YouTube Lives, everything else. Make sure you read the entire question so that you know, am I asking for it in grams, in moles, in kilograms, and something else. So that's really important. So I love diving to watch. I'm terrible at it. I would be the person that's like splashing in, not in a good way. Chemistry is like a sport. It looks easy when I do it because I've spent my entire life training. When you watch Olympic divers, they look like it's easy, right? I'm pretty sure I would belly flop like this person on the screen. If you asked me to like dive into the pool, like elegantly, you need to study like it's a sport. Spend time working on the problems, spend time in Alex, come to the live sessions, all of that. So before you watch the lecture videos, look at the note packet that I've provided for you. Read the sections in the textbook if you want to. Make sure you have something and somewhere to write notes. Just watching me solve a problem isn't going to help you on the exam. The exams have many questions. There will not be enough time for you to go find the video, watch the video, try to recreate it. You're going to need notes in order to be successful in this class. So I know that when I watch YouTube videos, I tend to turn them on double speed or like 1.5, depends on how chipmunky they are, and try to do that. That is a great idea if you're just like watching it while you make dinner. My recommendation is to pause and try to work the example problems. You want to have tried to work as many of these problems before the exam, before the live sessions, before anything else. So on Wednesdays, we'll have our collaborative problem solving sessions, the CPSS, because I like a good acronym. Look over the posted questions. You can attempt them before you go. You will get the most out of it if you've already tried them. Ask questions. So today you guys have asked like many questions in the Discord chat and all of that in the chat box. If you don't know where the number came from, or I did the math wrong, or anything else, just drop it in the chat box. I will read them. If you don't understand something, if you couldn't hear me, if it was blurry, just ask and I want to answer your questions. So other things you can find on my YouTube channels. So there are lots of playlists, but I've also worked specific examples like balancing equations. They'll have a question that I'll read and then work the answer. And so you can find those examples as well. Please, please come to my office hours. Please go to SI. So I will tell you a little story. Not a little story. Last semester, I had a student who was very unsuccessful in the first exam. They got a 50%. They, on the second exam, got 100%. The student was like, ooh, they went to every single SI, every single one. And they were able to go from a failing grade to a perfect score on the exam. SI is that awesome. So your SI leader will be sending you an email. She'll be around both in the chat box, sometimes in other places. She's very helpful. She took my class. It was in person when she took it, so it's a little different now. But she will be able to have exam tips. She will have solutions on what to do. And so all of those kind of things. Shazad asked, how many questions are on the exam? In the past, somewhere between 20 and 40. I like to ask multi-part questions, so it gets a little murky. So if it's like number 1 with an A, B, C, D, is that 1 question or 4? But the number of questions will be enough to equal 200 points. So you want to get help early and often. Our SI leader is here. She's dropped her name in the chat. She's going to be posting a video over everything you need to know. Feel free to email her and she will be around. Thanks for stopping in. Caleb asked if you need help but can't attend due to having work. You can come to my office hours. You can send an email and I will make an appointment. There is tutoring done through UNF on Zoom and I want to say that goes quite late into the evenings and moderately early into the mornings. There is a Canvas page for SI, and she will send you all of the information. So Christopher asks, is the SI video here or where is it? You should get an invitation to the Canvas course for the SI. It's outside of this course, but, we will be getting an announcement and a video explaining everything tomorrow. So if you have questions, you can email me and I will forward them along. But we have tutoring both on campus. Actually, I don't know if they're still doing path tutoring at the fountains. I'll look into that. But there is tutoring through UNF done by chemistry students. So other important things for you to kind of keep in mind. February 12th is the last day to transfer to the tune-up course. The tune-up course is Intro to Chemistry. It just runs and is a 2H course. It is a course transfer. you will leave Gen Chem 1 and go back to intro. We will talk about this more as we get closer to exam 1 and what it means, who should go, all of that. It's just kind of a date to keep in mind. March 26th is the last day to withdraw from all spring courses. That should say 21, but it is the right date. So, does anyone have any questions about anything I've told you? Or really anything? Well, okay, anything's a little excessive. But any questions? If you don't have any questions, you can go ahead and drop none in the chat box right over here. And just say none, or you can just like say nothing. But I like it if you guys say none. I'm not seeing many questions. So, as a recap, just to kind of sum up, this is really everything we're almost done for today. I know it's been a lot of information, but your tasks today are you're already on my YouTube channel. That's a win. You need to set up your ALEKS and you need to start your knowledge check. The knowledge check is basically going to know what do you need to know. And so once you start your knowledge check, then once you start your knowledge check, from your knowledge check, you're then going to be able to move forward into this week's objective. So that initial knowledge, all right, now we got some questions. Y'all are awesome. So this week, all you need to do is to do your ALEKS objectives. That's it. So the knowledge check doesn't really give a score. It basically gives you credit for everything you learned. So if you took high school chemistry or intro to chem, you will test out of some of the, I think there's like 150-ish objectives for the whole semester. So you could start tomorrow after your knowledge check and have already done 85 of them, which is great. That means that some weeks you may not have any homework. So all you need to do is take your knowledge check, and then it will say, congratulations, you finished this. It will then tell you to continue my path. When you click that button, it will tell you how many more objectives you have to do. If you get stuck and are like, have I finished my stuff? Send me an email. I will gladly pop into ALEKS, take a look, and let you know. So that's all you have to do. That is due on Monday night at 11:59 p.m. I will send you reminders, tell you if you have an account, all that good stuff. Christopher asks, will there be an example exam? There are no old tests to be had, but the mini exams will give you a good feel for kind of what's going to happen in this case. So the knowledge check and the prerequisite knowledge are together and separate. So the score that will go into Canvas next week is for completing all of that is the biggest set of objectives. Most of them you should test out of. So once you complete all of those, you will get a 10 out of 10 in Canvas. It will tell you when you've gotten that. If you answer all of the questions, if you do all the things, it will go away. It'll basically say like you've done all the things. So Caleb asks, you've opted in and you need to send a code. I have a 2-week access code that will basically let you get into that. So if you've opted in and you don't have your code, you can send me an email and I will send it to you. It's also in those slides that the using ALEKS with the bookstore slides. Or Sky says, when you get the code, go to the ALEKS module, go to the website, enter the code, and you're good to go. That is all quite true. Does anyone else have any other questions? Oh, the other things you need to do are start watching videos, take a look at the schedule. Also, I'm going to send you an email not Wednesday, today's Wednesday, on Friday with like a recap. So every Friday you should get an announcement that should come as also an email that says like weekly update, then the date, Gen Chem 1. In that, I'm going to tell you anything you have due the next week, anything else I want you to know, what videos you should be watching, including links to how to get there, and everything else. So, do you give study guides? I actually give lots of worksheets and other ways for you to create your own study guides. I will not make you a study guide, but I will help you craft one together. Good question. Other questions? We're going to fix the fact that you paid for both. I don't know how, but we're going to work on that. I will call the sales rep and she can help us. So, any other questions? Any other thoughts? All right. If you have any other questions, you can drop them in the chat. I'll hang out here for a little bit longer. Otherwise, it has been great getting to know you. I will see you on YouTube Live on Wednesday, a week from now. On Monday, I have office hours on Zoom, and you guys can see there. Happy New Year, too. I hope you guys all are just having a great first day of school. Bye, guys. Y'all have a fantastic rest of the day. So, Murray asks, if we don't know some of the problems on the assignment on Alex, answer the best you can. That's a good plan. So for the knowledge check, it'll just ask you what you do know. So do your best. And then it will teach you anything you don't know. So if you get stuck on one, you can come to my Alex help session on Monday on Zoom. And in there, I will help you figure out how the best procedures, the best processes for that, how to move forward. It's a good question. Any other questions? Sweet. Well, in that case, I will see you guys all next week. Y'all have a fantastic rest of the day.